Warning. The content in this podcast contains some explicit language which may be offensive to some listeners and may be inappropriate for children. Therefore, the content in this podcast is intended for a mature audience only.
So, when'd you fall in love with hip-hop? Right here, what we're gonna do is go back.
Like 2 seconds worth of that.
I've never heard it.
You haven't heard Tatiana?
I have not heard Tatiana.
Let me pull it up.
Yes, I love that song.
What did it make you want to do? Make a twerk?
Girl, yes, make me want to just get out the car and be like,
Hold on, like that. My song is I want an independent woman that'll twerk with a
twerk,
yeah.
Twerk. Who sang that? Is that sing that song?
Let me see. Tatiana.
Yeah, Tatiana.
Tatiana.
Girl, Cardi B, Blueface, and YG, I think.
Oh, I think.
Girl, Cardi got all the ratchet hits. That's like my twerk something. Take something else. I was like, I like that song.
Okay.
It's catchy.
Mm-hmm, it is catchy.
That is my. Ooh, this is my song.
Although we should have put Tatiana on there on our own tonight. Well, it's just gonna be the instrumental anyway.
Yeah.
It
make you want to get up and try to be like, just stop in the middle of the street. Go back to Capitol Beach 40 days. You just get. That's what it makes you want to do.
Bust it. I guess I have heard this song.
Yes. Yeah, Cardi B for an every day. It makes you just, yeah.
That's a nice song.
Bust it.
Read the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, what?
They can say almost anything.
You're going to go back and listen to that, ain't you? That's going to be your song, and you're going to see yourself
No,
listening to it.
Tatiana will not be my song maker.
I like that song.
Why you act like you Tatiana?
I know.
Tatiana will not be my song maker.
No.
You like hood. You like
I do. I love
She like real hood.
I love hood music. I'm
Yes,
just
you do.
saying.
The way she said that though, you know, she had one of them. That will not be my song maker.
Well, that's my song.
No, I like twerk. I do like twerk, but my song right now is Cardi B and Bruno Mars.
Oh, I
Please.
love that song.
That's my song.
Oh
Right
my
now.
God, I turned it up too.
Yeah, that's my song. Yesterday, I was in the car listening to it on the way to the photo shoot. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
serious.
please. I put my sunglasses on in the car.
It was sunny outside and
Girl,
pretty.
I was like, please.
Girl, I did too. Jaden was in the back seat. I said, no, you can't see that. No,
not this song.
Not this song. Yeah. Yeah, I love that
funny.
song too.
Yeah, all the ratchet songs. I have to be careful because I be having to tell Legend. No. Don't say that.
That's why I love the Tree Lounge because they play all the ratchet songs.
They do.
And then like from back in the day, like I love that. I love it.
I love ratchet songs.
It's just depending on the DJ.
Jay
Some
said
DJs have really
Jay said,
good.
y'all had some
sets.
kind of rough songs back in the day too.
She said rough songs.
Y'all had some kind of rough
We was
song?
listening to Easy E. Girl was just one of Easy E song. Girl, and she was like, "Mama, y'all had some pretty rough songs back in the day too." I said,
Some pretty rough songs.
Yeah, pretty rough songs. I was like, "Yeah, girl,
that's so cute."
they songs ain't really rough, but
no,
I think the songs now are just dumb.
they are.
but they put a good beat
catchy
on
though.
it. Yep,
Like the Tatiana,
yeah.
that's dumb to me, but it's catchy.
It is catchy.
Girl, it's catchy as hell. And twerking.
Now when I heard it, Mickey gonna have me.
Yeah, bust it down.
Tatiana. Bust it down.
Bust it down.
Yeah. Cardi B is sweeping.
Yeah,
Everybody thought she was gonna be a one-hit wonder, baby. She gonna be a 10-year. They gonna look back later and be like, she had a span of a good 10 years. Cause I don't care what you put her on.
But I don't know who produced her first album, the one with what song is it?
Pull Up On Me.
No.
Why don't you pull up on me?
No, I guess
Not
it's
that
her
one?
second album. With I don't know, Call Your Phone.
Call your phone. Call your phone.
No, I not called your phone. I went through your phone. You know what I'm talking about, that song? Y'all don't know what I'm talking
Through
about.
Your Phone?
Through Your Phone.
Yes.
That one. So, yes, that whole album is good.
Yeah, talking about privacy.
Yeah.
Invasion of
I'm
privacy.
talking about Call Your Phone.
Okay,
Right.
I'm like, girl, I know.
Because she had Gangsta Bitch Music 1 and 2. So Volume 1 and Volume 2.
So
and then
no.
after that, Invasion of Privacy came out. Or no. Yeah, Invasion of Privacy came out. And then she's got all the new singles.
Because y'all looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Through Your Phone.
It's
I went Through Your Phone, yeah.
Yes.
But
So
yes.
she's hot.
She's.
I mean, they have rebranded her and everything. But
That's cool. Y'all got games for us today?
I do have one.
You
I
do?
thought about it this week.
Good.
What was I doing? I don't even remember what I was doing.
Oh,
but I was
Lord.
like, let me, I was listening to something. And I figured, well, as we sip on our Red Bull, we've had a long weekend.
I know.
And it's about to be a long week.
Man.
And another long weekend. It's all right, though. We getting through it.
Man. A long weekend.
It's okay, though. Great
A
exposure.
long week. Because
A long week.
we've been passing the
When
flyers.
Y'all been
Mick was
working.
passing out flyers
Oh,
last
so thank
week.
y'all for that.
Yes, we was.
Yeah.
While I was MIA.
It was cold.
Yeah.
cold.
I know.
It was
out there
cold.
running.
From Wednesday to about Friday, I didn't get no sleep. I did not go to bed before 11 o'clock.
No.
And then I woke up the next day like, shit, when is Friday?
I don't know why, because I said it ain't no point me saying, because we had to do everything Saturday.
Well, no, because let me tell you, I got my makeup done, and I had to do nothing else, because the man did my feet Friday, because when I called up there to schedule the appointment for Saturday, he was like, I don't have nothing going on today, so what you doing right now? Can you come now, girl? I went in, straight to the back. It took them 30 minutes. I walked right on up out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all know I had to do everything on Saturday.
Ooh,
So
girl.
that was the worst.
Thank
I
God.
get you.
But when I left Nan's house, I went to Quell just because I was over that way to try to find something. Of course, I couldn't find nothing, and then I went over to
Oh, you didn't trust
your
me?
place. I did trust you.
Oh, no.
I was just
Not if you went to Quell, because I told you where to come.
You told me where to go, but I went to the mall because I was like, I might find me something to wear, and I can get my nails done. I can do it all in this one space,
Oh, okay.
and so that was my plan. And then I needed to get some foundation. That's another reason why I went to Quell. So I didn't tell you that I had to wipe my. Did I tell you that?
Yes,
I had to
you
wipe
did.
all my makeup off,
Yes,
and so
last
yeah,
night.
so that's
Yeah.
why I had to. Girl, I forgot what I told you last night. As you can see, we finished the whole bottle. So shit, I don't even really know what happened last night. But yeah, so I had to go do that, and so it was kind of like a one-stop shop.
Okay.
So that's
that
why I
would've
went to the
been-
mall.
That makes more sense.
So that's
Yeah.
why I
Okay.
went.
Because,
And no, I didn't trust you, but I still ended up going where you told me to go.
and it was cute.
It was cute.
It was real cute.
Yes, it was.
cute.
He was real cute. Girl, yeah, no, I went home. After that, did my makeup. Girl, I laid down. I felt like I was in my casket for a minute. I said, I can't lay like this. So I gapped up in my legs real wide and spread it up in my hands. Girl, went on to sleep. Like,
I didn't
I'm
sit down
good.
yesterday. No.
girl, I
Girl,
slept.
Yesterday was just
Yeah.
too much.
I got up enough to go get hoodies from James. We met him on, like, off of Lottie. Came over here, got them. I was going to go get my car washed. I got there, and the line was too long. I said, guess it ain't meant for me to car wash this car today. Drove on up out of there. Went on back home. Like,
Girl.
so, yeah. That was actually pretty, for me it was.
For
pretty
real. I had
relaxing.
cheer competition.
Yeah.
You had a busy day too.
Yeah.
Oh, girl. But
But, so, since people have been listening to us for quite a while, I thought we might do a let's get to know us kind of game.
Okay.
that would be good.
And give people kind of some, in on who we are a little bit and kind of figure out who we are as they go. So, name 2 things people don't know about you. Whichever one wants to go first.
You can go first, Mick.
That people don't know about me.
That's something you've mentioned on the podcast. 2 things people don't know.
Let's see. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on a podcast that I used to dance in a dance group.
Just the tease.
Just a tease. When I was in high school, I used to dance. I used to love it. So that's one thing y'all.
So
it was
that's where
like
Donna get it
big.
from.
That's that where Jaden gets it from?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I love to dance. And girl, yes, we loved it. Okay, talent shows, everything. So another thing would be, my 2 children, both of my kids, I plan them.
Okay.
And it's crazy. I hate to say this, and I know I say it all the time, but you don't hear that in the black community a lot.
That people plan their
That people
kids.
actually plan their kids. Because
Yes.
most of the time it is an accident.
Yes.
Oops.
And neither one of them was. They both were, I wanted to have, even. So, yep, I planned both of my babies. And was done. I said, when a boy, girl, got them.
And was done.
Perfect, done.
That's
Two common
good.
tubes.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up.
2 things.
So, 2 things. I had my baby at home. My middle child, I had him at home. Most people don't know that.
I remember that.
Oh, my God, that was so scary.
That was so crazy.
I remember when she called me and told me that. I was like, wait, what?
I sent the nonchalant text out.
Yes,
to like
she
most
did.
people, and I said, what did I say? I think it
She
said,
got out. Did you say you took a shower?
yeah, but
and
I think
got-
I just texted and was like, I had the
I had
baby
the
at
baby
home.
at
Or
home.
something like that. It
I
was
had
like
to
a
be at home
nonchalant.
some real
Yes.
crazy shit.
But she probably was nonchalant about it when it happened.
I feel
I
like I
was.
called her. When I called her, she told me the whole story, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
That's how most people were like,
Yes,
well, you had
the
a baby.
fell on the
Fell
floor.
out of her vagina onto the damn floor, like. And she wanted my
Y'all know
little
I
man
was like
special.
behind the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
She-
behind the
that's
couch.
why little man is special.
That's special like that.
He's a special kid. Baby, he came
Yeah.
at home and hit the ground before he had to do
he did.
anything else.
So that's one thing most people don't know about me. I had a baby at home, and then I was in a dance. I used to dance too. I used to do ballet, jazz, and tap. When I was a kid.
Oh,
You didn't?
No.
Yeah, I did it for about 8 years when I was younger. I still have my tap shoes.
So the
somewhere.
question is, how did you do ballet, dance, and tapping? You were so uncoordinated.
Yes,
about
I'm like, I
everything.
would've never done it.
I don't know.
You didn't work on your
You
coordination
was-
skills or
you
nothing for
clumsy
8
and everything.
years.
Yeah.
But I did, like, but my teacher, she wasn't she was a black teacher, but she wasn't a black teacher. So I felt like, I didn't have to do all that,
And that ain't what we're talking
But
about.
tap and
but
jazz?
usually gives
Yeah, but
you...
see, some jazz people, it's like they dance, but to me, we dance white to me. Just to me. That's how I felt, like we dance. But yeah, but no, I tap dance and all that stuff just fine. I could do
No,
it.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. I could do it if if we rehearse it and it's choreographed. I could do all that. That's fine. And I'm not that clumsy, Mika. You act like I just be falling and...
No, you don't do all that, but you... It's different.
Because I can't sing in the choir and clap and stomp.
Right.
That's three
So if
things.
you had a count of
I
somebody...
can do 2 things. I can't do
But I'm
3
saying, if
things.
you have a count, I can't see you having a count.
Yeah, 5,
What
6,
dance?
7, 8, and everything is on the 8 count.
Oh, Jesus. I wouldn't... For 8 years you did that?
Yeah.
And you still can't rock and clap at the same time?
I can't rock, clap, and stomp at the same time. But I can rock and clap. I can rock and I can clap. I just can't rock, clap, dip, and all that stuff at the same time. Shit, that's what they was trying to
We
have.
wouldn't have known ever. Would have
I
never
would have never
known.
known it. That's how you
Yeah.
ain't never told us that. That's good.
Yes, I did. I thought.
No.
Tell us. So what about you, Capri?
2 things people don't know about me. 1, I love turtles.
Oh, well. You got some at home?
No, I don't have any turtles at home. If I could have pet turtles at home, I probably would, but I've heard they stink.
Well, Dominique's friend is giving one away.
No, we ain't doing nothing that stink in my house.
We set him.
I
I
had a
don't know.
turtle. It didn't stink.
Yeah, it didn't. We kept
Jamie, I
it
used
for
to
a
have
week.
one for years.
We kept it for a week and we fed
Oh.
up bell peppers.
Yes. Javion
Did
had
he-
one. We
how
had a
big
turtle
is
for
he?
years.
Little, like this.
Girl, my babies would love that. Because
We
me and my
had
babies
one for
love
years.
turtles.
We love that turtle.
Y'all did?
Mhm.
No, Javion used to have. We had an aquarium. We cleaned it
Oh,
up.
okay.
You know.
What happened?
They don't take much to take care of.
We probably should get one. I've thought about getting one. Everybody I talk to said they stink and keep telling me not to get it because they stink. But I am the person who will see a turtle walking across the street, girl, and I will stop my car
Oh.
and move the turtle.
Oh, God.
Because my heart be like, oh my gosh, because they're so slow. Like, just naturally slow. So you trying to get to the other side. Let me just help you get over there so you don't get hit by these cars that's going to go 10 times faster than you.
Oh.
Okay.
So that just makes my heart like...
Girl, why you said it this before we started? Girl, Kenya's baby the other day, Friday night. Girl, she's so sweet and she love animals. Girl, so Kenyatta and them must have came up the same way we came. So Kenyatta talking about, girl, why we didn't pass the cat in the street? Girl, her baby, the baby say, "Mama, pull over so I can get him out the street." So nobody run over. Kenyatta like, baby, it's too late. I said, girl, the cat's dead. Kenyatta said when she told her, she was like,
Oh,
girl, but I said,
baby.
what was you gonna do, Kalani? She was like, gonna pick it up, and you was gonna go pick up the cat, and girl, she was so serious.
Oh.
Girl, we was like,
Girl.
we was cracking up, girl.
Yeah, I absolutely love turtles. Like, love them. Love them, love them.
And what's the second thing?
Second thing people don't know about me, I used to be in the band.
Oh, okay.
So I
What
played
did you
the
play?
flute.
The flute?
I played the flute. I started playing the clarinet, and I played the cymbals. So I was part of the percussion section.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's funny. I never knew that. I didn't know that stuff either. That's funny.
So yes, I was in the band from 5th grade till like 10th grade. I was like a sophomore, I think, when I stopped being in band. Girl, and we went on. They put me in a percussion session one year for one of our band trips, and I just did the cymbals, and then I was learning how to play the clarinet, so I could just play more than one instrument.
Shoot.
And the saxophone. I've actually I played the saxophone a little bit too.
I played the cello.
I did too in
You
5th
did?
grade, but
In
that
I know what I was doing.
I played the cello.
I played the cello. I did.
Yeah, we all had to play something
I
in
know.
5th grade.
In
Yeah.
5th grade. That's when I played it.
Because I think, I might have played the viola or whatever. I might have played. I didn't play the cello. I played the viola, not the violin. Ain't it something about?
Yeah, it's like smaller
Yes.
than the violin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we all
I
did
don't
that. And
know
I say you can't count that because you don't know nothing
I
about it right
played
now.
I never did none of that. I never played cello, but we didn't have strings.
So we had
band.
strings.
Yeah.
And I took piano lessons.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
And she hated it.
I hated it because the
I remember
men
her
used to
telling me that.
poke my fingers like with a sharp object or whatever. And he
Whenever you messed
hit a
up.
wrong key, he would poke my fingers, and I was like,
Oh,
hell
yeah.
no. I'm like,
People were so mean to you when you was a kid.
That's why she emotionless. That's why she don't have no emotions. Because
Right.
they come off as a kid.
Yeah, they was just so mean to her. The daycare folks was
She was
mean
like,
to
she
her.
was probably like, I just don't care no more.
Right.
that could be. I don't know, but yeah. But I think
They
that's
just
just how he
stunted your
taught.
emotions.
That's probably
Growth.
how he did to
Yeah,
teach.
that was his teaching style, and it's like when you hit the wrong key, he would poke you. So it's like, I'm scared to even. Girl, I remember my mama bought me a keyboard, and I was trying to study them books, and I was like, and then my dad, he called or something and asked if I can go to his house for the summer. You know, I didn't ever go like that, and so that was my way of getting out of it.
That's going.
So you went to...
Yeah,
Yeah,
never
his
went
house
back.
for the summer.
Mm-hmm. Because she wouldn't let me quit at first. I'm like, please, she wouldn't let me quit.
Oh, God.
So, another question. Name 2 things on your bucket list.
Ooh.
Mine is to go to Amsterdam because I heard it's like a really cool place to go. It's a very sexual city, and I just want to go see.
Okay.
You want to do everything with sex.
No, I don't. Don't put that out there. No, but I do. It's like a very sexual city, and so I want to go to Amsterdam. That's on my bucket list. And then I don't know. Dubai. That's another place.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's definitely on there.
Mika?
I wanted to go to Dubai. And I want to have at least... How much I want to say in my bank account? I want to have at least, my bank account where I don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to think about,
Ain't that it?
let me plan this bill and plan, you know what I'm saying? Whereas it's just cared for.
Okay. So, my bucket list, one of my things is I want to go to the Isle of Capri. It's in Italy. It's really, really, really pretty. So, before life ever ends for me, I want to, even if I die in Italy, I'm okay with that. If I get there and that's the end.
At 85.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And then my second thing on my bucket list, so I'm going to say this, but it's not on my bucket list anymore. It used to be on my bucket list. But I used to want to go out of town, buy a wig, and then just wow out for a whole weekend.
That
Just
sound
do
like fun.
Let's do it.
whatever.
Let's do it. Have you already did it?
No, I haven't.
Let's do it.
I used to want to do that. Just buy a wig and just do whatever.
So I thought thought that's kind of like what we were doing in Vegas. Remember?
We kind of did.
We kind of
when
did
we went
that.
there All-Star Weekend.
We all had, because I had a quick weave. It
Mine
was like
ugly.
Mine was actually cute, and it
You
was like
look bad.
yeah,
Mine you had blonde.
the lines was ugly.
Mine was ugly too, though.
Oh my god! I don't remember what yours looked like, but I do remember the lions because it was like blonde.
Yeah, it was
And
white
it
blonde.
wasn't like it wasn't like a mom.
It was blonde.
But yeah, I want to get like a wig one day and just go,
Now let's do
wild
it.
out
Let's
for a
do
whole
it.
weekend. Just
I'm
get there.
down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Get there and have like change my name, everything.
And that's what we did.
We did.
I had my blonde weave and I was Goldie. And girl, we had Cinnamon Swirl. What was your name? Keisha,
Candy.
Tasha? Oh, Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, yeah, we all had different names. But
Yes.
That is
we didn't
funny.
know that.
Yeah, we did.
But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should do that.
Yes, but that was on my bucket list before, so I do want to.
But
one
what
day.
city?
Just I don't know yet.
We could get us some blonde housewife weaves and we
Maybe
could go
all the way down
somewhere.
your
Yeah.
ass.
Girl.
Go somewhere. We go to
Hold on,
let's
hold
go
on, Dante. Hold on, we'll
let's
be
go to
turning
New
Dante
York.
out because shit. Hold on, look, Dante, just look like you just from somewhere
Yeah,
famous. Put
go
a
out
fur
your-
on or some shit. We can buy
Girl.
be your,
fake furs
what is it
and
called?
shit.
Your alter ego.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's go.
Let's go. So yes, that was on my bucket list. Okay, so the last question is, if you could be any animal in the world, what would you be?
I would definitely be a lion.
I was gonna say that.
Would you? Yeah, I would definitely
Only because
be a lion.
they rule the jungle.
Yes, because they're just dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely be a lion.
If I could be any animal in
Watch
the world,
Capri Cup say a dolphin or something.
matter of fact, I was thinking about something swimming.
I would be. Okay, go ahead, Capri.
Leave me alone.
Go ahead. What you would be?
Shut up. I don't even
you
want to
gonna
say
say?
it no more.
What you want to be?
Actually, I would like to be like an eagle. Like I want to fly. Like you know how like birds just like soar and just fly and just
Yeah.
they kind of careless. I like that whole
And then it's hard to get to them too.
very.
Yes.
So
And bald
That's the
eagles are
only thing.
very dominant in like as an animal. So they're still a dominant animal, but
right.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
so I thought about that. I was like, people could probably, we'll probably enjoy hearing
Your
some
ass
things
said a
about us.
dolphin.
Hold on, look, I am the flower child. Leave me
Yeah.
be.
I figured Capri would say something.
Some little floaty.
Yeah.
I am a bit floaty. Hey, that's what happens.
Oh, yes. What's the next question?
So
That's the
all.
end. That's
So
the
we
end
can-
question. So let's go into our topic. So Dante sent us a message this week. You want to read the message? Hold on, I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick.
No, the message I sent.
Oh, Mika sent us a message.
I'm
I'm
sitting here
sorry.
thinking like
One of them
I'm trying to
sent.
think. Did I send it?
My bad. One of them sent a message this week. It's been a long week, y'all.
Mika.
Please forgive us.
And I didn't get to read all of it. Just some of it.
Okay. Is
So-
you pulling it up or okay?
I'm gonna pull it up. Mika sent us a message this week
So
that she got on her inbox.
yes, a classmate. Thought of a good subject. You want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Should I read the?
Read it all.
So did she sent you a question? In your
Yes, the
inbox?
topics.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, this is basically like an issue, that has kind of aroused in her situation. So she dated a guy before my husband, before her husband, and she said they were really close. Our families just knew that they would get married. Let's see, we thought we would also. It just didn't work out. Although we didn't get married, we are still close. Not as close as if they talk every day. She said, but we don't even talk much now. We might take a couple of times a year. So the debate is one of her close friends said that that's too close for comfort and shouldn't talk to him because they had dated before. So the thing is, although that they dated, our relationship is like the movie Brown Sugar. And
She said she even named him Brown Sugar, didn't she?
yes. refer to him as brown sugar. Girl, he's married, she's married. So the question is, can you or should you talk or have friendships with an ex? The thing is for her is she says, yes, you can. If you're comfortable in who you as you and your mate are, and you know that you guys are handling business at home, there should be no fear of them getting back together. Like, so she got into a long dialogue with a close friend behind the situation because the friend think it's just out of line.
For her to be friends with the ex. So the friend feels like she should completely cut the ex off.
Exactly. Like, that's too close to comfort when he's married and you're married.
I'm wondering if the friend know, like, the type of relationship they have. Like, if it's just strictly a friendship, I think that's okay. But sometimes people, have inappropriate conversations. I think that's where the problem comes. But I think if y'all both strictly friendship, I think it's okay. And I think, I think that it has to be okay with your significant other, too. If you have to sneak to do it, I don't think you
should be doing it.
No. You should.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that need to be, it probably does need to be something that you discuss between you and your mate. Because I don't know how I would feel just being on the other side of things. Like, I have exes that I'm still really cool with or whatever, but, if my significant other said, cut that off, I would cut it off. That would be the moment I would have to be like, okay, this is too, he's not comfortable with this. But it would be the same for me. Like, I don't know how comfortable I would be knowing all of the history. So I think it was different if it's one of those situations where we were just exes. There really wasn't a chance that we ever got married or anything like that. But when you go into that whole conversation, like, my family thought we was getting married. We thought we was getting married. Yeah. We just didn't work out. For whatever the reasons may be, that makes me uncomfortable, I guess, as a person just being in that space if you were the guy that I was dating.
Which makes sense. And
because even if you're comfortable in your relationship, every relationship has its rocky moments. So what happens then if y'all having a rocky moment? Do you ever in your mind think, well, I probably should have been with, or I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, but it's how often are they talking though? If it's an every once in a while thing, I don't see a problem with that. But if y'all talking every day or almost every day and stuff like that, I have a problem with that.
But it depends on the relationship, like y'all said, because I have been in a situation like that. Like, we were really, really, like, he was my best friend from, like, 5th grade. Go on, we friends. End up crossing the line where we had relations or whatever. And it basically, after he had somebody, and it was just best for us not to be, we knew that we wouldn't probably make it as just friends. So we had to call everything off. Which is, it just depends on the situation. Because if you know that you can't be friends with somebody, and then eventually if I get mad at my husband or you get mad at your wife, we be meeting up in some room. You know what I'm saying? Because it depends on that situation. Like, if you can be friends, I think as long as your spouse is okay with it, and it's nothing like we can come and hang together. Because my husband had like a friend, but we used to go out with like him and his wife. So that's fine if y'all talk like that once, but I just think it has to be okay with the spouse.
Yeah, like if he call your phone, if this guy calls your phone and if you can answer it right in front of your man, exactly. I think that's okay. But if you have to
get up and take the call,
you gotta take
away
it
or ignore it.
Yeah, when he walk away, I call you later. If you got to do all that, then you don't need to be talking to that person.
Yes.
Or if the conversations are private. So if like your spouse can't just pick up your phone and read the messages or the conversations, then I think it's questionable. I said it because I have an ex that probably the only thing I think that saves us is his distance. He's married, he's got kids, he's done his own thing. But, we talk regularly, like on social media and things like that. But I can admit that if he was here in Oklahoma City, it probably wouldn't be best for us to communicate. Just because we don't really have like a really bad, like we broke up because of like immaturity. So like growing up and being in the space that we're currently in now, like we probably would mess around. he probably would cheat on his wife, or it probably would be something that wasn't appropriate or something like that.
You just don't want to take those chances. So sometimes you gotta call. Some of the best friendships are, even if it's a good friendship, because it's not that we called it off. If I see you and it's like, hey, but we know that it can't be I call you up once in a while, and it's like you just have to kind of step back from it,
right?
Because everybody, sometimes you just can't trust. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
You can't trust yourself all the time. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you and say that there are some situations that I know myself in. But that's the thing. Like, I think sometimes we have to be like really knowledgeable where we are as a person, and if you make me mad, like if I get pissed off at you, or I'm mad at you, and I'm having a discussion with somebody else over here or something like that, I may go into this space of, oh my gosh, what if especially if it's one of those situations that only ended just because it ended, not because there was nothing wrong,
just mutual
things. And what if I'm struggling, I'm in this over here, and we love each other, but man, we have some struggles.
But see, some relationships, y'all might be in relationships, but it just didn't work.
Right.
And the emotional connection isn't there, but this person is better your friend than your significant other, so you don't even look at them like that. So I think friendships like that are okay. But if you still thinking about them at night and all, when you get into it with your man, I wish I was with him, then you probably shouldn't be talking to him.
But some people can actually be friends, with their ex, and it be nothing.
I usually check out before I check out. And then once I'm checked out, I'm not emotionally attached to you. I don't want to be your girl again, but I'll be your friend. I'll talk to you if you want to call me. So in that instance, I think it's okay.
But I think what she's asking is, she's saying that not that it was something that went wrong, or things just never led up to where they ended up together.
Right.
So I think in that space, because we do check out. I think we check out of situations when they like not good for you.
Yes, because we didn't wait too long
before we should have left. We should have left long time ago.
When you checked out, it's like deuces.
Right. They say when a woman walk away, she checked out a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Because her body is there, but mentally, like, she been gone.
But if she's still calling him brown sugar,
hopefully not. Maybe she just saying that.
I'm just saying, but she said she still calls him and refers to him as brown sugar.
She said she named him that.
She named him that, and I think she said she still calls him that. So, but if she does, if that's what she does, if that is his name for her, I don't think that the feelings are gone. I think that will probably be the difference in whether or not you need to communicate with that person or not. Do y'all still have mutual emotional attachments to each other?
She's comfortable in her relationship and he's comfortable in his.
Comfort is still 10 years down the line. Comfort change.
Sometimes comfort does.
But I don't know. It just depends on the dynamics of the relationship.
I think it does depend on the dynamics, because I could be friends with my ex.
How many of your exes you got feelings for that you can be friends with?
I got feelings for none of them.
Exactly.
So that's like, say like my daughter's dad. Say we start being real cool again. I could be friends with him and never ever want to touch him.
But you have no feelings for him.
Exactly.
What makes you think that she has feelings for him? She didn't say that.
She didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That in any situation, I think it's okay to continue to be friends, because some of us have to be friends with our exes. Example, if you have kids with a person, that person that you have to consider, a healthy relationship would be having a friendship with your ex. So that you are able to foster that relationship and be healthy in front of your kids. And so that is one thing, but I don't have not an ounce of feeling for neither one of my kids' fathers. So, I can't be friends with them.
Exactly. So
I think friends know, because if your friend is getting into it with you about it, like, you need to leave it alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe she knows something. She know that feelings, because you know how you back in the day, because I tell Erica everything. And Erica, she knew when me and the guy that I'm talking about cut it off, she knew that was the best thing for us. She hated that, but your friends know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably,
I mean, that's like her. Like, well, I think I'm gonna be friends with.
Exactly. And you go,
say it was like a bad breakup, and I knew that she was heartbroken over it and all this stuff, and I'm like, why would you even like leave it alone? That's what I would just be like, leave it alone.
Right.
Like, don't even go back down that path. I know it's just a friendship, and you got somebody, and he got somebody, but don't do it.
Right.
You know, so friends do know. But
Friends know.
But say it's like one of your kids' fathers, and you say, oh yeah, we've been talking, we've been chopping it up, I wouldn't think twice about it because I know that she don't. You know, want either one of them.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the difference in whether or not we can continue to be friends as your ex is what is the level of feelings that are in that relationship. And no, she didn't say I still have feelings for him, but clearly her friend knows something we don't know.
Exactly.
That gives us the indication that there's probably still some feelings there.
Yes.
And probably still some doors that are still open that you could probably walk into.
You know how you just never close those doors.
Right. You just kind of just...
It wasn't bad.
Right.
It wasn't nothing. It was a mutual decision that you made that we just can't be friends. So them feelings may linger.
Right.
And you know it's best to go ahead
and even if we don't talk every day, even if we talk once a year or once every 6 months or whatever, what do them conversations look like?
And them, even if it's how you doing, them butterflies may be all up in your stomach.
Nothing. Make you start asking questions and questioning what you already got. Right.
Yeah, you smiling.
You doodling.
Drawing hearts.
On the paper.
Been on that phone call for about 2 hours, like, you know.
Well, it was good hearing
from you, and neither one of y'all want to hang up.
Yeah,
right. Neither one of y'all want to hang up, and then you get off and y'all stalking each other Instagram and Facebook page, still looking and see how happy each other is or not.
You see where your family going and on vacation.
Yeah, so that may be what we may be getting is the story on the other side of it. And I feel like I said, your friends know. So if your friend is probably telling you, baby girl, you need to, if it's important enough for me to get into it with you about.
Right.
Exactly. Because I wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it with you over something. But if it's one of those, I'm like, friend, no, I really feel like you need to leave that alone. Then it's got to be, to me, I feel like it would be important. There's something there that makes me tell you, leave that alone.
Exactly. Because otherwise you wouldn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah. So it's definitely something there.
Right.
Yes. So the advice we would give somebody is it just depends on the dynamics of the relationship. It's not a right or wrong thing. It just depends on the dynamics and the feelings.
Exactly.
Feelings are huge.
Yeah. So if you have no feelings, I don't see a problem. But, I mean, like I said, if your significant other, if they cool with it. Because some men is like, I don't want my woman talking to nobody, no exes. Like, what do you have to say to them?
My husband did that.
Really? But Trigeri didn't care if I talked to men on the phone. He never cared.
Oh, well.
Because he talked to women. So, I mean, my whole marriage, I mean, I communicated with some exes, you know, new
See,
people.
most people don't do that.
Most people don't do that. But that's because he was doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
He was like, who was that? So,
I'm a kind of in my relationships, I probably gauge it a little bit more. So I'm going to ask a question or two. Like, so, why'd y'all break up? And when y'all broke up, like, you know, how did that happen? Like, you know, because I want to know. So if it was just some old mutual, hey, I just, you know, you didn't have enough time for me or you were studying too hard and it just didn't work out at this moment. That can work out at any other moment because your time changed. You may not be so busy.
I asked
Maybe
like that too.
I want to know because I want to know what did y'all break up for? Because to me, I feel like
I asked that like probably like in the third or fourth conversation.
Third or fourth. I might be asking
like I want to know.
Like
have you been in a long-term relationship?
That's another question I asked. Like, what's your longest relationship? Because if you've been in a bunch of 6-month, 3-month relationships,
you ain't gonna probably be.
Yeah.
We
only been, you know, a year is about the longest. A year,
right?
And you 37,
right?
Red flag,
right?
Yeah,
definitely.
But I really want to know. And so for me, I'm going to gauge that. I'm going to ask them questions. Because she may not be able to be your friend.
For me, personally, I don't want my man talking to his exes.
But you can say, stop.
No.
That's a double standard.
I wouldn't. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Trigeri didn't care. And so he talked to people. I would talk to people on the phone. He had his female friends. And so I think our marriage was just different. Because he didn't care.
So, did you not care?
I did care, but he just wouldn't stop. And so because he wouldn't stop talking to having female friends, I was like, well, I'm going to talk to, you know, my male friends or whatever. But I would prefer to be in a marriage or whatever where neither one of us. I mean, talk when you at work, y'all could talk all y'all want to, but you don't need to be contacting your exes, inboxing, DMing, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what do y'all have to talk about? But if y'all in passing and y'all stop, y'all can sit there and have a conversation, and I'm cool with that. But y'all need to be picking up the phone and all that stuff, talking to each other.
Yeah, I just got issues with that. I just have, like, because I've had, like, so, funny. Because we always talk about my last relationship. That shit was a hot-ass mess, by the way. But one of his exes called him and asked him to freeze her, if she froze her eggs, if he would donate his sperm. And I just thought that shit was just weird. Like, no. And by the way, you need to stop talking to her. Like, you know he's in a relationship. I just think so my thing with that is this. I think sometimes what ends up happening is when you leave the door open to some of your exes, then they don't have boundaries.
They don't.
They don't know, like, they feel like, because I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the ex that can still talk to my ex, then I feel like, not necessarily all my exes, but there are some of my exes, I'm like, it's a chance that if I wanted him back, I can have him back.
Right.
And so if I want to violate that boundary, I can violate that boundary. I'm going to respect his relationship, though, because that's just who I am, and I believe in karma. I don't want no shit coming back around to me. But because I'm a woman, and I know that if you still leave a door open for me to talk to you, call you, text you whenever I want to, come to your house, send you a DM, we can hang out. If you leave that door open for me,
and sometimes we might even be grabbing lunch. Sometimes.
Yeah. At some point,
that's doing too much.
I know. Yeah. I can. Like, but I know that that's an option. You get what I'm saying?
To me, that's borderline cheating. Like, if y'all grabbing lunch and y'all on the phone all the time. And
right.
But not necessarily all the time. What if they call, what if they talk to each other once a month?
That's too much to me.
But your girl don't know?
No, I'm not saying she
may or may not know.
The husband must know.
She may or may not know.
Like, her husband knows.
Well, no, my man ain't having lunch with
nobody else.
No.
People are okay. Like, I have a coworker that says that, one of her exes, like, they go out to eat often, and, her husband is okay with it. They'll go out and have lunch. I wouldn't be okay with it unless, I'm coming and her mate is coming. And we've established at the very beginning that they had, like, this certain type of relationship, where they were friends. But as long as when they meet, it's us meeting. But I don't even know how often I would be, because I don't even want to be around your ex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go to dinner with you.
Because that would be awkward. Because what if they have this chemistry? What if that you at this dinner or lunch or whatever, and they have this chemistry between the two of them that's like a language between the two of them, and y'all just sitting there.
Exactly.
I mean, and what if they're talking about shit that you like, well, damn, I can't even get you to...
That's just like brown sugar.
I can't even get you to smile and laugh at the shit that I'm talking about.
Like brown sugar, because they had that same interest and that same about,
Right. So like your interest may be that, example.
You remember they hadn't listened, like the boyfriend hadn't listened to any of her, what did she do?
See, I need to go back and watch it.
She was a journalist.
He hadn't read any of her articles.
Yeah.
And then the other one, tell him about an article, like
article,
he knew every article. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
it'd
be like, damn.
So the other one was her ex?
Yes.
Well, her friend.
He was her friend.
He was actually just her friend.
They were like really close friends.
Okay.
Like, how you grow up together and y'all just close friends.
Right, and she was like in love with hip hop. And like, so she was she was a journalist who wrote about hip hop and the story of hip hop. Okay. But like when she went off to college, that friend, like, he kept up with all of her stuff. So he knew all of her articles. He knew all of her really big time stuff. Yes. Like, he could quote stuff back to her about her stuff. So, like, that kind of shit. Like, now, we're not about to sit here at lunch together because I must be... Okay, we done. Okay. Well, yeah, just like
that's
you
wrote... I wouldn't even go anyway. That's just weird.
But that's just like, hold on. Ting, ting, ting. What are we celebrating? My divorce.
Exactly.
That's from that movie.
That's that movie.
Train. Oh no. That guy goes to our gym. Dre, think about this, okay? Let's just go. Dre, you don't want to do this.
What's up, surprise? Reese, what is... How you doing?
Hey.
Guys, what's up? How you doing? It's funny running into you here, singing love songs to each other.
Dre.
Shit, that was pretty. Don't stop on my account.
Dre, what do you...
Yeah. Me and C, we was just in the neighborhood. We thought, you mind if we join you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Have a seat.
Sit down, girl. Why you all stiff? Reese, Will. See, you got on my favorite dress with this area all like, hey, wow, all out. Greased up from a man. I'm sorry, I'm Dre Ellis. You are?
Richard Lawson.
Richard Lawson. All right, you sound educated. Good for you, girl.
Good. You guys, friends of Reese's, huh?
Yeah, well, actually, the funny thing is, she's my wife.
What? Oh.
Look,
Hey, I'm sorry.
that's
I had
cool. That's cool. How could you know? She ain't wearing the $15,000 ring that I bought her as. I should say, still paying off, but
Actually,
you
I'm
understand.
paying for it.
Could you not put my business out on the street?
joining us for dinner?
Listen, my
No,
man.
you know what? We were just about to leave.
I'm trying to order the most expensive bottle of champagne because we finna celebrate.
Dre.
We gonna celebrate what? My divorce. How about that? And some pork chops
Dre,
because I'm kind of hungry.
Making a scene.
All right?
And
Good. I want to make a scene. You know what I'm saying? Bye-bye, Richard Lawson.
Embarrassing.
Oh,
You don't. She don't
Brown
know.
sugar? Yeah, because
Yes.
he took her to go find his wife.
He found out his wife
Wife
was
was
cheating.
cheating. So he took her to the restaurant. They
he
pulled
got a
up
text
on her.
message, yeah.
Sat in because he had her phone.
Yeah, he had a phone. They both their phones were alike.
Yeah, so he had her phone.
Oh, okay.
And then guy text her. Text
said
her
where they
said
was
where they
meeting.
was meeting. So he took the friend.
Took the friend. You heard me?
Took the friend to go pull up on the wife.
Not at the nice restaurant.
At the nice restaurant. They said, waiter, I need some of your finest wine. What are we celebrating? Ting, ting, ting. My divorce. That's one of the movies I love, too.
That's my favorite movie. Girl, my
I'm
favorite
going
movie.
to watch that.
But yeah.
You have to go back and watch that because
I
Brown
have to
Sugar is
watch
one of
it.
my
I can't
favorites.
remember.
Yes. So I think that that's the thing. Like, for me, that I'm not leaving that door open. I just don't want, like I said, if we together and we're going to be together, your exes is going to be your exes. If you see her out, don't be rude. You know?
Exactly.
But no, she can't call. You can't go help her with her tire. We
Exactly.
can send her AAA. Now, the only exes I am okay with helping for tires and stuff is baby mamas. Because you have the
that's
kids.
to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's okay to, like, if we're coming to get, you got the kids in the car and your car broke down, and maybe if you better not have, like, a man that's close. But if, say, if your man is on the other side of town and you're close enough to us that he can come help you, fine. But if your car break down and you call my man at 9 o'clock at night, because he your baby daddy.
Okay, is the kid in the car or not?
That's going to be one of the main things.
Because if the kid is in the car, yes, you go help. Because
Exactly.
the baby is out there, whatever,
right.
in danger.
In the
But
car.
If it's just her, I don't know about
No.
that.
But see, I think my biggest issue with that, and that's where we run into issues, I think, with exes so much for me, is baby mama straddle that line of boundaries.
Or we could go help her.
Yeah, we can go help
Yeah,
her.
we can go help her.
And that's if we up and we not doing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we can
We
go help
can
her.
go help her.
Yeah.
But you not going to go help her unless them kids is in the car. And that's going to be a limited thing, too. Like,
So let me ask y'all a
you
question.
should be
So,
who she calling every single time either.
So what about this? So your current dude has, his baby mama. The kid is over there, and she got a cutoff notice. She have a cutoff notice for her electric. Say she owe, let's say $300, or the electric's gonna cut off. Y'all gonna be okay with your man paying the bill, or is the baby just you gonna be like, the baby can come over here and stay?
So my question is, do he give her child support?
Say he take care of her. Take care of this baby. She don't never need nothing. They don't have no legal thing with child support. But whatever you ask
Even
for.
with that being said, I might be okay with you doing that once or twice. I might be okay with you paying off if you don't physically pay money in child support to her. I get it. You may buy diapers, you may buy shoes, you might buy clothes.
But it takes more than that.
But it takes more than that to be a parent.
And I've been in that situation, and we did a hell of a lot. So, no. If the baby can, you know, my stepdaughter can come here and stay. And we just transferred her back. Because if she over there laying up with niggas, like...
Oh, yeah.
And you got all these... You laying up with dudes over here. And you got this man... And you ask my man to pay you electric? No, baby. Your baby, our stepdaughter can come. I don't know what the other family members gonna do. But what we gonna do is take care of our responsibility. And my stepbaby can come stay with us. And we'll get it back and forth to school until you get that situated. But my man is not paying your electric.
So, I could, like she said, I kind of see that you might help one time.
We ain't helping one time.
But I can understand that, like helping one time or whatever, because maybe she just fell on hard times and she just really needs
she better ask help. Me and she messing with her or whatever.
Yeah, but
I mean, but if she's not, okay, so let's
say she's not, say she's stable and she just fell off on hard times and we were actually cool, that may be different. Let me not say that.
Right.
Because if she's just like stable, I mean, you know, and she just fell off on her, she lost her job.
Right.
And she needed the money and I would be like, okay.
Yeah.
But she couldn't ask him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, no, like, if she's trying, like, if you're one of those moms, because, I mean, don't get it wrong, I'm not going to ask for the help unless I absolutely need the help. And so I'm just going to assume that she's kind of like me, just putting it in that scenario. Maybe you really need the help. You done fell on some really hard times. You don't have men running in and out your house. You're not doing trifling shit. I'm going to say, you know, once or twice, you know, we can help bail you out on that situation. I might even go extend ourselves and say, you know, if something come up, well, maybe she needs some groceries or something. Like, you know, we can help you in that space.
That kind of stuff is fine.
You know, we can help you in that space while you down. We can try to help you so you can get back on your feet.
That's different.
Because I feel like that's the thing. But if you got a bunch of niggas running in and out your door,
then they need to be.
Then that baby's coming over here. And they need to pay them electric bill.
Right.
Y'all gonna have to figure that out. Because wasn't a dude just laying up in your house yesterday? Y'all figure that out.
Right.
No, but we'll come get her.
Right.
And you figure that out.
Right.
Let us know.
Right.
We'll handle this.
Right.
Yeah. No,
let us know when you get back when you get back together.
Yeah.
You know, in those situations, I think but I think that each situation is different, and like I said, I'm not going to be the kind of person that's going to be like, hell no, don't help her, because I feel like when you get in that space of hell no, don't help her, you affect the kids. But again, we're going to have to evaluate. You coming over here every other month talking about your electric bill getting cut off, I'm going to say, baby girl, I don't know what to tell you. We didn't help you.
It's really just based on the situation, really, because like if he was paying a good amount in child support every month, and then you giving me your electric bill, no, I can't help you with that because I paid you child support.
Exactly.
So the child support I'm paying, you need to pay them bills over there,
right?
Yes. Or like I said, if she fell on hard times, you know, this is way out of the norm for her, and she don't have anybody else to turn to. I get that, but if you got niggas running in and out, like, you got to figure that out.
Please. Right.
So yes, I'll come pick her up. She can come over here, and then when you get your lights back on, I'll bring her back over.
Exactly.
But let me tell you what a lot of women end up doing, or what happens in some situations. You have some situations where men have created this space where a woman thinks it to be his job, even though he's not her man, to pay all her bills, to cover her rent, who's putting his name on leases, he buying cars, he paying electric bills, he paying daycare, and he paying child support. And I've seen situations like that, and if I come into that, we cutting all that shit. You only gonna pay that child support, and we're gonna take care of that baby for whatever that baby need. But we're not gonna keep, like, why is your name on her lease? Why is it the only way she got a car is because you get her a car? Like, why do y'all have joint insurance? It's crazy because I've heard of all of that.
I have too.
Have you?
Yes.
I was talking to this guy. His baby mama needed a car. He co-signed on a car for her. I guess she just needed the help. But, I mean, we were cool, but, I mean, you know, he was just like, yeah, you know, I got to help her get a car and da-da-da-da, and he did. He co-signed and he helped her get a car.
So, do you think that's okay? I mean, so...
That's the thing, though, because, I mean, you do want to try to help your kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's a hard decision, though.
But at the same time, like, you know, what if we get serious and now you got this loan on your credit? Like,
I wouldn't agree with my man doing it.
But if he did it before you came in, so that's the other thing.
It wasn't before I came in.
That's different, though.
I mean, we wasn't in a relationship or nothing like
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. But
We were
before
talking.
you was in a relationship with him, like before we make it official, and you go and co-sign on this card, I think for me, I have to start looking at questions. But I have to start looking at stuff like that because to me, I feel like okay, well that means she don't have no bound. I look at boundaries when it comes to certain things, and I feel like some women take advantage of that situation. And like I said, I have literally heard of women who she want to go buy a house, she going to go rent a house. How much is the rent? $1,200. Who paying that? He's paying that. Oh, when they get a car, she got to take him every time she go look for a car to go find a car because she's so helpless and can't do nothing. And then when she needs
okay with no relationship like
and
that.
then when she needs help with the kids, he got to drive out to her house and sleep on her couch or stay at her house because she's not comfortable. Right. She not comfortable with the baby coming over. Like, I'm not doing that kind of shit.
Was he in a relationship, though?
No, he's not in a relationship, but the problem is when he get in a relationship, how you cutting that off?
But he's talking to somebody else, right?
He's been talking to people.
He's talking to other people, but he still go to the baby mama house and sleep on the couch.
Yes.
Well, that's just like a comfort zone. Like
But the thing is, and I think that the problem with that is you entangle so much of your life. I think sometimes baby mamas and baby daddies entangle so much of their life with this, we got a baby. It's for the baby. Okay, my insurance, we need insurance on the car, but we don't need to be on the same insurance policy. That don't mean you neglecting your baby because we ain't on the same insurance policy.
No, we don't.
You know what I'm saying? So, or if you don't go and help me find a car, like, I feel like some shit is just too much.
Yeah.
But
I look insurance, though, you know, we stayed on joint insurance for a long time. After we got divorced, I want to say about 2 years. Probably.
Did y'all?
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed on, about 2 years.
Y'all were married.
Because it was cheap.
They were divorced.
They were married and divorced. Hold on, some folks ain't even never been married, and you ain't never had a marriage license, and y'all got a whole fucking insurance policy together.
It was. I think my car was like $70. His car was cheap. It was just cheap, and so it was a comfort thing. I mean, you pay your part, I pay my part. I mean, we don't really have to necessarily communicate about it. I go online and I pay my part. You go online and you pay your part. So it was just one of those things that we just still had together. But but eventually I was like, okay, let me get my own insurance. Yeah. And then when I did that, it was like double. But it was worth it. It was worth it. I mean, because I wanted to cut ties. You know, I didn't want any, ties or anything like that. Because it do look like you're not moving on because you still got all this shit. But, I mean, financially, it worked for me at the time. So.
Yeah. But at some point, I think it's best to cut ties at whatever cost it may be.
Right.
You just can't.
Well, I say 2 years, but we lived together like a year after we got divorced. So then I guess an additional year after that.
But my thing is this. So whatever that looks like, just don't drag other people into that shit. Until you figure out what you need to do to cut it off, to fix it, to make it better. I mean, I get that we, sometimes we do things to financially set ourselves up and to help our kids and to help our family situation. That's great. But don't be dragging a bunch of other folks into that shit.
So I think that's the key right there is secure that, have that situated or whatever before you bring anybody else. Because I remember talking to this guy and he, I guess the baby mama wanted to have surgery and she wanted him to pay all her bills in her house because she couldn't work or whatever. After she had this surgery, she couldn't work. And he was just talking to me about it. But I mean, I don't know how a woman could fix her mouth to be like, hey, can you pay the bills over here in my house? Like, get your kids over here. But I don't know.
I wish the fuck you would, because if you pay them bills, that's where you're going to be packing your shit up and taking it over there if you pay them bills.
Well, he wasn't my man. We wasn't in a relationship.
No, I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
But I think that's where, like, exes get so, like, it gets all... when you got so much of that kind of shit going on, I think you just got to figure out how to free yourself from some of that before you move into the next situation. And I'm just not, like, y'all know how I feel about baby mamas. But I have run into some situations that made me be like, now, wait, what? Like, so she can't get a house unless you paying for it? like, what does that have to do with your kid? Like, I get that your kid needs a house.
But, I mean, that's a relationship that, the exes, the baby mamas, they have to communicate with the ex. But I believe when a kid gets to a certain age,
you can't be that comfortable.
Well, you don't need to even be talking like that.
Or should, even have people for instance, okay, I will use, because I know a couple people that do this. You know, like you have an ex, y'all still friends, and for instance, my mom and dad. My mom and dad divorced. You know, he been with his woman 20-some plus years, and my mom always comes to the family get-togethers. You know what I'm saying? If it's like a funeral, she's there.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, you know, like my grandmother been sick here lately, so my mom there. You know, like holidays there, because she has kids with him, and my mom think it's okay to actually continue to come. And I be telling my mama sometimes no, because I hated that, because my husband's baby mama used to stay with might as well say his mom, a lady that he called his mom, but she used to go stay live with them, him, like the sisters and stuff. And then when he goes over there, you know, she's just like, you know what I'm saying? Some people like exes or
don't know how to cut it out.
And
when you divorce him, you need to divorce the family too.
And be cool to a certain extent.
Be cool with them, but you don't need to be.
But you ain't gotta come every like, you know, Mama. I said, Mama, you need to stay, because it doesn't make the other person feel comfortable, and I can understand why, because that feeling's not comfortable. You be sitting there like, why is she at every
I understand
Thanksgiving?
I understand funerals, but like if
funerals,
it's dinner,
fine.
like Thanksgiving dinner,
every Christmas and every Thanksgiving,
no.
you just coming over here, and why is she here? Because that's what I used to think. I used to be like, I'm not going over there, because that I don't want to sit in a room with her. For what?
Right. I mean, I get that. Like, it's just one of those things where I feel like you haven't let go of the family and move on. Because that's the thing. Like, my mom, my grandmother. So every time my grandfather before my grandmother started getting dementia. But every time my grandfather would come to the city, girl, he would come and get his grandkids, his kids, and my grandma would be like, dead smack in the middle of everything. Like, he didn't buy dinner for the whole family, my grandma included. And this is how business worked until she got to the point where she just dialed me like she's in a nursing home right now. But that's how it was. My mama, you know, my mama was like, well, till Kayla was like 12 or 13, my grandmother gave her a ham or something. She gave me a ham, and for holidays, how do you date someone else in that situation? Like, that's hard. Like, I don't want to be the woman that look at you. I don't want to do that. And I love my in-laws. I love them. You know, I would go over there, you know, every holiday, look at them as family, but I knew that I had to cut that off.
Right.
And I remember one holiday, I think it was Easter, and she was cooking, and they invited me, and he was with who we with now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she invited me, and I was like, I don't think I need to come over there. I was like, you know, because, you know, she gonna be there, and she was like, this is my house. So when I went over there, him and her walked in, and I just went to get a plate. And, you know, just fixed my plate and left, but I just felt so uncomfortable. Like, I don't need to be here. But I went because she invited me, but after that,
some
I didn't
people
go
don't feel uncomfortable. Like, my mama don't feel uncomfortable. Girl, she be out. I said, Mom, sometimes you got to think that, you know, it is uncomfortable to have that other woman around all the time. I know that feeling.
Right.
Like, you don't want to be, it's okay to be around sometimes, like funerals, like you said. You know, maybe
and some family gatherings
or
graduation,
you know,
or
some big celebration. But like, you ain't got to come to every Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
Like, every time I know on Thanksgiving when we playing games, when you sitting there with the food. Why is she here?
Right. Why is she here?
Why is she here?
Yeah, and we have to put ourselves in that person's shoes too. Like, how would we feel if every time we went to a family function, she here? Like, why are you here? Like, why?
Right.
Get your ass on somewhere.
Right. Bye.
Right.
Because that's going to be my thing. Because I might not even go because I'm going to feel like, do I have to get comfortable with you being here like 20 years? I mean, I get y'all have kids together. I get all of that. But some shit, some stuff got to cut. And I get that he may not be able to cut it off because, you know, if his mama's inviting her or whatever. But I feel like to some point, like, we got to start letting some of this shit go. And as women, you got to be in a space where you like, okay, look. I get that, you know, we was in love, we had a set of kids, but this entitlement thing that some women be having, that shit got to go. Like,
for real.
Right, it's like this level of entitlement. I'm entitled to
and
being
baby
a part of
this.
this.
That shit bad.
Yes.
They really don't have it, but
baby mamas have that shit horribly.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's an entitled. I always call it what I call it, a glorified baby mama. Get your entitlement ass on, like.
Right.
And that's not that I dislike your kids or dislike you or anything like that, but I feel like you're intrusive, and you're intrusive just because you feel like you're entitled to be.
But see, I don't like the baby mamas that always want to call them, hey, you know, the kid need this, or hey, can you come?
Exactly.
Hey, like always calling like you out of line. Like don't be calling him like that.
Or being disrespectful, because I know, like, my baby dad, I think once I actually got into my relationship and he knew it was serious, he used to be like, some baby daddies would be on some disrespectful shit, too.
Yeah, very true.
Because he used to try to keep him, like my husband, I would say he needs to bring him home before, and I think it was maybe 7 or something like, you know what I'm saying, decent time. But, you know, he used to pull up anyway. He'd pull up at 10, you know, when he know he's supposed to be in bed, but they'd be on some old territorial, disrespectful type.
It works the same both ways.
Right.
But
Like,
that's the thing. You had to put him in his place. You need to come at a respectful time.
Yeah, don't do that. Bring him home at a respectful time, or you're going to be taking him to school the next morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't come here. Because he should be asleep anyway.
Right.
So you should have left him sleep in that bed.
And the same with guys.
Baby
you gotta
mamas.
put your baby mama in her place and let her know, don't call my phone after this time. Only call me when he needs something. Don't just be calling me to talk. And, you know, just, you know how they do, just want to get in the mix of just doing shit like stop.
It's just that attitude that I still can. Yes, that I got this upper hand, I got this baby, so I can.
And then when your kid get a certain age, your kid can call. You don't need to call and talk to him.
Because I stopped calling about 9 or 10.
Girl.
Honey, I don't even...
And I think I got Jamie on the phone by the end, baby. Well, he might have had one. He might have been about 10. I think he had 10.
Legend is 5, girl. I let Legend call his daddy. I give Legend the phone and I go, on, honey.
I think I talked to Dominique daddy once a year. Most of the messages she relayed. My daddy said, my mama said, and I don't have nothing against him, but I just don't have anything to say. Like, what do we need to talk for? Like, unless she get in trouble, unless she do something, then we need to have a conversation.
Exactly.
But other than that, I don't need to talk to you.
For what?
Right. So,
yeah.
All my kids are old enough to where I don't have to necessarily communicate with you unless it's serious.
Exactly. I mean, I communicate, like I said, I don't communicate with a 980 right now. He on block, but sometimes he has to be putting time out. But I will communicate through her with him.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't need, it's not like we don't need to communicate directly.
Right.
But it's the same with, like, Legend's dad. Like, I give Legend the phone. I let Legend talk to his dad, but we communicate on things that are important. So this is what Legend got going on. This is what, you know, it's nothing like, oh, well, we went to the emergency room yesterday and he had a cough.
And he on this. I didn't do that.
Right. Like, okay, well, great. No. So when he come over, to his cough medicine. Like, what are we? I'm confused. Like, why do you
call you and tell you specifically how to switch the medicine out? I put the goddamn medicine in the bag. I know how to read. My wife know how to read.
Right.
Just put the medicine in the bag.
Right.
There's instructions on there. Thank you.
Right.
You ain't got to call to see if he took it. You should trust the fact that he over here with his daddy and somebody that's gonna handle it.
But that's like a power thing, though.
Yes.
You know, let me just call and interrupt whatever y'all got going on.
And to have zero respect for anybody's time in the midst of it. But I think, I don't like that kind of stuff either. So that's that entitlement shit. But cut it off. You do not get to come back to Christmas, Thanksgiving. You can't be sitting up eating dinner with the family. When he's moved on, you need to move on. And even if that means staying at home by yourself, honey.
Yes. The kids' cousins, the second cousins graduating, you at the graduation. Stay.
Why are you coming?
Oh, why?
Right. Like, no, baby.
No.
That's not your family anymore. So, but so,
anyways,
so we done, I guess. You know, so the thing, would you reconsider? So, are you okay at the end of the day being friends with an ex?
Yes, I'm okay with it as long as there are boundaries.
Same thing with you, Dante?
Yeah, because like I said, I emotionally check out. So I'm not emotionally attached to any of my exes.
But my boyfriend, this is the thing, my man has to be okay with it.
He got to be okay. If he's not okay.
If he's not okay with it, then we're not going to do it. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you that I am very territorial. And I don't want him talking to none of his exes.
I am too. But I'm not going to mess up my relationship or cause, strife or arguments because I don't want to let this friendship go. If that's the case, I either need to get out of my relationship or I need to let this friendship go.
Right.
So, but if my man don't like it, then I'm not going to do it. It ain't worth it.
So, yeah. No, because you're an ex for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
They are ex for a reason. Even if we don't understand the reason why they not there, or we feel like they supposed to be there, or you're an ex for a reason.
Because otherwise y'all would have worked it out.
Right.
But I did, okay, so going back, like years ago, I did have an ex when I had a boyfriend, and he wouldn't go anywhere, and I wouldn't let him go anywhere. My first.
Yeah.
He would still call me.
We know who
he
you're
would
talking
still
about.
he would still come over here, and I used to tell
but again, y'all,
Bishop and Trigeri, I was like, this is my friend. Like,
but again, y'all shouldn't have been friends.
We shouldn't have been friends.
So that's the whole point. That's not proving a point.
Right.
That's proving exactly
that's what I'm saying.
why.
What I'm saying is I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyways because it was like, you know, for me back then, I felt like I was choosing my friendship. It was like, you know, he's my friend, so y'all gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean, eventually they did accept it. And I think, I want to say, yeah, Trigeri and him end up talking on the phone a couple of times because he called my phone. But I mean, he was just my friend. Like, he was cool like that. Even when I was pregnant, he would stop by every now and then and check on me when I stayed here.
Weird.
I know, but he was just my friend.
I don't care.
I mean, even though he was my first, but he was still my friend. So, but I'm just saying that was a relationship that I didn't want to let go, and then eventually it was like, okay, you know, gotta let that go.
Yeah,
I think maturity kind of also puts you in that space too, where you have to say that some relationships, you know, they say, you know, relationships are like trees, or like some of them are leaves, some of them are the branches, and some of them are the roots, and you have to distinguish between what is what. And I think sometimes we hang on to stuff that we should have let go of. That leaf that fell off, and we still hanging on to it, and it's brown and dead.
Like, it got a little color to it.
It still got a little color left on there.
It's all rolled up in
I know.
It's, you know, let it go. And I think that sometimes what ends up happening is we want to push the priority or make something more important than what it really is. Mm-hmm. And so I think sometimes we just need to recognize, like, what's more important.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
Is my marriage more important? Is my marriage so important that I, you know, whatever works in my marriage and keeps my marriage together and we continue to keep growing, I'm going to put that first?
Right.
Or is this friendship that I feel like I'm hanging on to, like, why are you hanging on to it so tightly?
Exactly.
What in that friendship? What is that friendship giving you that makes you feel like you have to hang on to it that tight?
And willing to even maybe cause a conflict in your marriage.
Right.
Something is probably wrong with that picture, but
right.
You know what I'm saying? If you just...
But some people just have deep connections with people and it's just hard to let go.
And that's the problem.
So it's just they give you that feeling, even though they're just your friend.
And you don't want to let it go.
Right. You don't want to lose it. You don't want to let it go. You like, I'm going to just hang on to it.
Forever and
as long
ever.
as possible.
Yeah.
You're going to have to accept it.
Or maybe there's sometimes, you think sometimes we hang on to stuff with the hope. Or like maybe like we're putting it in like as the backup plan. So like,
yeah,
maybe
I think
if
a lot
this
of
doesn't
women
work,
have backup plans anyways.
Yeah. If this doesn't work, then I can always go back to that.
We always keep a person on reserve, but it's like, I don't want to mess this up just
I
in
think
case.
90% of women have in the back of their mind, like, if this don't work out, I know who the fuck is next.
Or I know who I can always go back to.
I know who I can go. I know.
So
that's probably what baby mamas. That's what baby mamas do. A lot of baby mamas, especially if he let her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of them have
hang on to that hope.
Have that baby daddy. Even if she want to play like she not, I ain't in love with him. I don't care. I don't want him. If he said, "Let's try it," she tried.
You moving in tonight, or you want to come tomorrow? Like,
right?
Yeah, he gonna be there.
Right.
If he let her.
Yeah. So I think sometimes people just have that backup plan that in the back of their mind, if nobody else works out and nothing else works out, and we've been single, because you know the other dynamic to this is if we single for long enough, you give me a couple of years single, we can do kind of whatever we want to do in this space, and it can look like whatever we want it to look like.
That's how I used to be with my baby daddy family. Because me and him broke it off when Javion was like when I was probably 6 weeks pregnant. You know, we used to mess around. We'll get back together. He'll stay. And then, you know, I'd be done with him. But every once in a while, I still let him come over. He wouldn't come over even when my son was, like, up. I have him sneaking, just like everything. You got to be gone before. I did used to do that. Like, you got to be gone before he wake up, because I didn't want him to think in his mind that we was, like, going to be a couple when I knew that he was out there doing the most and we wasn't going to be a relationship. You just can come and he knew forever, like for years. You know, we always talk like, oh, you know, once he get through doing his thing, then we would settle down. He didn't lie to me. So I'm just like, you know, but he was a hoe. So it was just like, you know, that was a thing that we had, but and then when I just cut it off, you know, I'm just like, he wasn't with that either. So,
girl. And I think that's probably that's how a lot of them situations end up. You cut it off, he cut it off, and then y'all end up in court and some more dumb shit.
Exactly.
Because that person mad or want to cause some, I'm going to take you to the ends of the earth and hurt you forever and ever, dumb shit. But,
yeah, baby mamas don't bother me. It's just as long as she has boundaries or if she has moved on.
Oh, honey, it ain't too many of them.
If she haven't moved on, then...
You know, the problem with that is I ain't met too many of them with boundaries. And I ain't met too many of them that just didn't move the hell on.
I would have to agree with you.
It ain't a lot of them out there.
I have.
No, we is the exception and not the rule.
I mean,
you dealt with people who have moved on. I haven't.
That you have.
I mean, some, but then when you go and you co-signing for a car, like,
that's not really necessarily moving on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and so like I've had experiences with different, you know,
different types
or whatever,
of
and it's like, do I want to deal with this?
Right. But I still have that same, like I've dealt with in most of the situations where I've dealt with baby mama, baby daddy. I am the exception and not the rule. I don't have an expectation that, like, I don't call my baby daddies every day. I don't expect you. I mean, you call my kid and check on my kid whenever you call. I mean, like, we're open to that. I don't call his phone after a certain time at night unless it's an emergency or unless, like, my kid is upset and feels like he really needs to talk to his dad or something. You know, I respect their marriage. I respect their relationship. I don't want to disrespect their marriage or their relationship. So I try to do things that allow us to have our life over here and then they have their life over there. You know, and like I said, I'm the exception and not the rule. Like, I don't call him. I don't know nothing about what he got going on.
I don't baby daddy either.
I don't do girlfriends.
I don't even know where he lived.
No.
Right. Like, I don't do none of that. Girlfriend,
but I don't care.
I haven't known where he lived in years.
I've never even his new house is over here on this side of town. Girl, I ain't even been in it. Because the night old enough that I don't, what I need to go to your house, why I need to go in your house for? I drop her off, she go in the door, I make sure she make it in safely, I get back in my, I drive off and go. Like,
and your child is old. So what do you need to get out the car for?
Even when he was young, I didn't care.
Right.
Like, for real. Like, y'all could actually, like, when he was with another, you know, one of the baby mamas, I used to, go to the birthday parties and stuff like that, but I don't.
I mean, it's the same with this is daddy. Like, I don't. We meet up in Ardmore. I don't know. I know their address, but I've not been to their house. I ain't walking around. I don't need to do all of that. I feel like I trust you enough that when you take your son, you're gonna keep him safe while you have him, and I'm gonna keep him safe while I have him. Like, you don't need to be in my house on my couch. You don't need to be sleeping. That's doing too much for me.
Right.
And I've yet to find to be in any situation with anybody unless he just wasn't. And the only situation you get like that, he just ain't actively involved in his kid's life. And you're like, no, I don't want that either. You know. But if he's truly trying to be a dad, there is some level of boundaries that are always crossed, and you can't ever, like I said, we're the exception. We are definitely the exception and not the rule.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but it's been a good conversation.
It has.
Yeah. So I hope that answered her question.
I do
too. Thank you for sending it to us.
We appreciate questions.
Yeah, we need.
Give us some questions. Give us topics. I mean, even when we don't have that help us when we don't have topics and stuff. We kind of be needing something to figure out, like, what we're gonna talk about.
And I think the last 2 weeks have been listeners.
People have
not
the work spouses.
Not the work spouses.
What was last week?
Bad sex.
Okay. Yeah. So the work spouses, and then this one.
So by the time y'all hear this, we will have had and done our first day party.
Our first event.
It's going to be packed out.
Yes, we are speaking that into existence.
We are.
We have just completed on this weekend. We just completed another photo shoot. So as soon as we get those pictures, we'll post those, and you guys can see the results of those. I'm
excited. I can't wait to see him.
I am too.
I felt better about yesterday's
You
pictures.
did?
Yeah.
You look like you were more comfortable.
I was comfortable. So I can't wait to photo shoot number 3, girl.
Ready? You gonna
How them look?
You gonna be ready? She gonna be having her outfit before
Right.
we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Stretching her.
Let's wait.
Yeah,
We stretching her.
Just wait.
I know, girl.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, hey, I think, I feel like, just the whole experience and the fact that people are taking to us so well and, listening to us. We appreciate you guys for listening every week. Those that do listen every week, if you listen and it's your first time listening, we appreciate you too. Like,
And just
The
the thing we're
fans
having
from time to
opportunities that we've
Yeah.
had. It's been amazing. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and people just kind
Definitely.
of flocking to us and kind of coming to us. Like, I appreciate that. I think people enjoy that energy though.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So,
I do think we need to introduce ourselves for the video.
okay, go ahead.
I'm Dante.
and I'm Capri.
I'm Mika.
So, YouTube. This is a new thing for us. I actually really like the YouTube thing. I do.
I'm getting there.
But she's
Well,
compromised with us.
She did. Cause
So we're going to go 2 times a month
2 times
instead of 1 time a month.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because
that's reasonable.
it is
is.
very reasonable.
Me
And I think
halfway.
it's that compromise, but we're in a generation of people, or we're in a time where people really want to see people and
Yes.
kind of want to be able to experience that with them,
Yeah.
face to face kind of thing. Help them get to know us a little bit better.
It does.
And it's
We'll
crazy
take it.
because I listen to YouTube. I don't watch YouTube.
But a lot of people listen to YouTube and don't watch YouTube, so it is kind of weird. Because I have
But I
the
watch.
YouTube, like, the premium, where I, like, can turn my phone off and just listen to YouTube.
Yeah.
Cause so it kind of plays, because you don't have to leave the screen on
Yeah.
or whatever, so it just plays, and I actually absolutely love that.
Yeah. My attention span is short with just TV in general. So to be sitting watching, say, like, even this, like, I do better with listening.
But see, the other part about that is I like to listen to a point, so sometimes I like to kind of see, like,
Yeah,
wait.
it's good if they can see us, though.
Yes.
right,
So that's a good
Yes.
like, wait, like, how did, like, especially if you say something that's really crazy or funny, I want to go back and see what your facial expression was. Like, did they think of about the same thing that I was thinking when I watched that, when I listened to that? So some stuff I do like to watch because I like to, like, see the expressions on people's faces. So I understand it.
No, you want to get personal. You want to see who talking, and
Yeah, they don't know our voices.
they don't.
So
Not yet. They'll learn it.
Not yet.
Yes.
So, but anyway, it's been a long weekend, and this daylight savings, spring forward, fall back, whatever the hell happened yesterday threw us all the way off.
Yes.
Only because my time wasn't changed. That
Well,
was the
no,
only
it wasn't
reason.
your time. What happened was
When
we got to
out
2
that
o'clock.
club, it was 3 o'clock.
It
in
was
the
3
morning.
o'clock.
And I kept questioning
it
myself.
skipped
I
an hour.
said, wait, damn, I got home at 3 something?
Because what happened was we were sitting in the car,
Yeah.
and it was like 1:30.
Exactly.
But when it got to 2 o'clock,
it hit up to 3.
At
Remember,
to 3
we sat
instead of
there
going
and
to 2.
talked for 30 minutes in
Yes.
the car.
So that's what
I know
happened.
we talked for a while in the car,
Yes.
but I just couldn't figure out because I'm like,
So what ended up happening is it got real
I
late,
didn't get
real
home
quick.
till about 3, almost 3:30 in the morning.
Yes, I think it might not have been so bad had we kept that extra hour.
Exactly.
But I think what ended up happening was we was all sitting in the car. It was 1:30 at one point, and then we looked up and it was 3 o'clock. Like, what the hell? Like, where did the whole hour and a half go?
So when I go home, I will be for real.
well, I've been in Boston all week, and they're an hour ahead, and so I've been having to. I've been
so
off
you
schedule
okay
anyway,
right now.
so I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
just moving right along into it.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, it's been messing me up all week.
It's been messing me up all day.
So
I keep
I'm
looking up
cool.
like, well, dang, it's already.
Yeah.
Well, dang, I feel like I laid down. I'm telling you, I laid down and went to sleep. I woke up and I was like, okay, it's 9:30. Sun was beaming
Girl.
through my windows. Hold on. So I was like, okay, I can give me another hour. I woke up and I had slept like a whole 2 hours. Like, wait, it's 12:30. Why I don't feel like 12:30 though? Like,
Well, that's good you slept that long because I haven't, so I'm ready to go home
And get some sleep.
I'm
Oh
tired
my
too.
God,
I got to
I'm
do a little
tired.
bit of work tonight, and then go to sleep.
So, for those that can see us, shout out to James for our shirt, our amazing hoodies.
Listen to black women.
Listen
You
to
should
black
show the
women.
back.
See the back. You can see the back. I don't know if they can see the back.
Hold on. They ain't got to do all that.
I know. No, I was just trying to make sure it was them.
Strong women intimidate boys, but excite men.
Yes.
MochaTea Podcast.
MochaTea Podcast. So, thank you for listening. You guys can hit us up on Instagram, MochaTea_podcast, Facebook, MochaTea Podcast. We're on Twitter, MochaTea Podcast. We're on SoundCloud every Sunday, YouTube every Sunday. Both of them are MochaTea Podcast as well. And then if you want to send us, hey, DM us, whatever way you guys are comfortable with it. You can hit us up on email as well. It's MochaTea2018, so that's 2018 @gmail.com. Like I said, topics. Hey, and next week, once y'all are listening, we'll have done the day party. We'll have some Red Bull because we'll need that the next day. And we will have gone through another bottle of Crown.
Okay.
We can do peach
again.
We can do peach because
That'd be
peach was
good.
good.
It
As long
was.
as it's got the knee high. We need
that was-
that was real good. It was real sweet, but it was good. But we will have interviewed some of our listeners at our day party
Yes.
for the podcast coming out after that. So we'll tell you guys how it turns out. We'll be on all of our platforms with all the videos and everything else. So hit us up. And we're out.